The drink of the selection today, the drink of choice today, Hennessy. Yesterday, on the last live, I had Crown. But today, we're going to go with Henny. Yeah, I told you every time I go live, this is what I do. Sometimes it helps other people think. Sometimes it just let people be themselves. But me, it's both. It's both. I might add just a little dash of Crown. Just a little dash. That's it. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? I hope all is well with you and your family. It's Saturday. It's the evening. And we're going to continue from the last live. From the last live, mixing double dark. Well, you seen it today. But from the last live, you have learned about the Chino slaves. You learned that white people was enslaved more than Africans. You learned that white people was not released until 1788, and the majority of slaves that came here to America, which they called the dumping grounds of the undesirables. You know what I'm saying? They was convicts. It's unknown of what criminal activities these people have done, but in the book it stated that some of them was beggars, some of them was the N-word, robbers, all those type of things. And I'm telling you, the majority of people that came here that is in that high status today are descendants of criminals and are descendants of slaves. The reason they haven't paid black people reparations is because the slave theory of 1619 is complete fallacies. Everybody will have to get paid reparations for slavery. Because all it takes is one person to come out and say, hey, white people was the biggest slave importation in America, which is really true. Because they was the undesirables. And they was chattel slaves and all that stuff too. Oh, nationalism, what you talking about? This sounds like some coonery stuff. Come on now. They gave you their story. They gave you their story. They looked down upon slavery and they said it was you the one that was slaves. But when you go into real history, it was really them. It was really them. They're not going to tell you who the real masters was. You was the Blackamoors. The Blackamoors, but we had a whole bunch of different types of black people in America during that time. I'm just recapping from my last life. We had a whole bunch of different type of black people that was living in America from 1492 up here all the way up to this very day. You know what I'm saying? So we had original Irelanders. We had original Britons. We had original Russians, original Germans, original Polish, original French, Portuguese, Spaniards. We had all original people who were of melanated complexion. They all was not Africans. They was original people to those lands. And today you would call them aboriginals, but they was original people to those lands. That brother said it, all skin folk and kin folk. And these white slaves was already slaves in their own land by the Blackamoors. We talk about the Blackamoor, Catholics, Muslims. It don't matter what you want to call them. Sometimes we call them Maroons, Moriscos. It goes on and on and on. But we had POWs who were Indians. When I say Indian, I'm not talking about Native American. I'm not talking about indigenous. Y'all already know by now, those of y'all that been following my content, you know that native means born in the country and indigenous means born in the country. Neither one of them have no standing of originality whatsoever or you being organic to a land. It just simply means you're born in a land and that you owe allegiance to a certain sovereign person or entity, which is the government. In the case of America, all indigenous and native people living on reservations owe allegiance to United States corporate government because you are tenants. You are tenants on a reservation, on a timeshare for a temporary time, not permanent time, a temporary time. That's the reason you don't see them marching up and down the street acting rebellious towards the United States government. Is because they're obedient servants. According to the Chino slavery book, they are obedient servants. They don't want to mess up what they have. They know they living on the new masses, corporate lands. Feudal law. I already know about it. Thank you, brother. I already know. All this stuff that we follow today, policies, is not really common law. All of it is foreign policies. And this brother said one of them, the Morocco, subjects of Morocco. The black leaders still run America to this day. They call them the hidden ones. The hidden ones. And you have to look into the secret societies, the Black Boule, the Majestic 12, what they call Illuminati, but it's not even a real name. It's many different names. The 13 royal families who are really black people dressed in pale face. You know, back in the day, they used to put all their white makeup on them, powder their faces, put on the wigs. They call them the wigs. But they was really black people behind white powder. Black people behind white powder. There's a lot of stuff y'all don't know. Yeah, it was taught to you. Everything that you learned today is from this modernistic academia system that the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds have created. None of it's real. They changed your identities. They changed who you are. They gave you race instead of nationality. They took away your culture. They took everything away from you. Right? There's no such thing as a United States culture. There's no culture in corporation. Everybody that live in America right now are corporate entities. Native Americans, there's no such nationality as Native Americans. There's no such nationality as indigenous. All those are corporate citizens, and that is a certain status within the United States corporations. Right? Either white, black, the word Mexican, all of those are corporate entities, corporate citizens, just different status within it. There's no such nationality called Mexican whatsoever. Look up the original name of Mexico before it was called Mexico, before it was called New Spain. Look at what those people called themselves and look at what they called that land. Mexico or Mexi means a collaboration of mixed people all together, a mixing pot. Mix means a mixed people, mixed nation, which means you're not original if you're mixed, you're intermingled, you mingle together. So that's why they call it Mexico, because we got the Moors, we got the Chino slaves, and we had the original people all there at the same time. Know what I'm saying? Then you have Russia and everybody else down there in Mexico too. So what happens when they all start mixing? And we still got the original people of that land there. They still got the dark skin and woolly hair. They still down there too. And we still got the original Chinos there too that look Mongolian but have the dark complexion but the long goat hair. They still down there too. They still intermingle with their own people. But the fair skinned ones, the lighter ones, that's why they call it Mexico, because the majority of Mexico is nothing but one big mixing pot of many different nationalities. And Mexico spread it all the way to California. So we talking Arizona, we talking Nevada, we talking Washington, we talking all of that. That big mixer pot went all the way up there. When you jump out of the perspective and you look within, you jump out of the box and you look within, you can see. Nobody don't really know. So for you to call yourself original and you very, 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 very fair skin, that's a lie. It's a lie because everybody knows all originality goes right back to the black. I don't care how I spell Mexico. I don't care how I spell Mexico. I don't care how it's pronounced. You understand what the hell I'm saying, don't you? All right. Today, I'm not inviting people in my lesson right now, so you're going to have to wait because I'm about to teach a lesson. I'm continuing where I started off yesterday. See, that's the crazy thing. People want to be a freaking language critic. A language critic is skeptic, right? They want to sit up here and say, "Oh, you saying that word wrong?" Blah 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 blah. Okay, what words I'm trying to say? You trying to say this? Okay, so you understood what I'm saying, right? Yeah. So shut the hell up. Quit wasting my time and my words. All right. So we're going back to white slaves. And where was I? I was on this yesterday. I told you. I'm going to recap from right here. And everybody know, especially us black people in the South, our ebonics, the way how we say things is very different from a lot of people because we still have our language within us. Certain words we can't pronounce, certain things we can't say, certain sentences we can't... You know, it's kind of hard to say sometimes altogether. It's because our language is still within us. The way how we say words is still within us. And they try to eradicate that from us and make it seem like, oh, you're illiterate, you slow, you don't know what you're talking about. You can't pronounce this and this and that. You're talking to somebody that's ancient. And the person that's trying to correct us is somebody that just got domesticated about 700 years ago. And you're trying to be an English critic. You got no room to talk. Again, you dealing with ancient people. And majority of people on this live is ancient people. They still been mixing in with other original people. Get what I'm saying? I really don't take y'all words for value. I really only take my own people words for value because they are ancient. These people are still ancient to this day. And we still been mixing with our own tribes, even though they lost their identities. We still been mixing with our own tribes to this day. So really, I don't care. I really don't care, to be honest. The problem with our people, they're sympathizers. They like to sympathize with a lot of people's feelings. But me, everybody knows naturalism and Yahweh. I don't care about your feelings. I want all the smoke. I want all the smoke. Y'all counsel me so many times, and look at me. Look at me. I'm already back at almost 20K. Told you I don't care about your feelings because you coming as a mascot to try to come counsel somebody, and behind closed doors you talking right behind their back too. Y'all better quit falling for these other nations. Quit sympathizing for these other nations. The only nation you need to be sympathizing for is for your own people. Quit being clowns for other people. They using you. They forming you. They forming your emotions. Shoot. Keeping it real. And let y'all know I'm trying to, all the gifts I'm collecting, I've been saving up. I'm trying to buy land for my own people. I'm almost there. But those of y'all, I'm trying to reach my goal. If you feeling like you love this lesson, if you support me, I'm not there just for followers, but only supporters. If you really support me, I told you the first step to my nationality is buying land for my own seed line, and building everything off that land. I don't care how small the land is. We doing that first, then we're going to go on up. Once I finish my whole family, then I'm going to be linking up. Like, hey, bro, you got this land, I got this land. Let me see if I can find something close by. We the same nation. You Chata, you Kitawa. Okay, you got that bloodline. Okay, bro, let's link up. Let's make some moves. We don't need the United States. We don't need Native Americans. We don't need their approval. We could do shit on our own. Facts. We don't need representatives. All right. It says the Act of 1785 legally defines servants as all white persons, not being. It says 1785, the Act of 1785. So before 1785, the word servants wasn't only for white people, because everybody knows the first African slaves that came here were all the way up to what, 1760. They was all indentured service. They all had contracts, and they all came from Africa to America on their own free will in search for land and gold that was promised to them if they fulfilled their contract. There's a big part of history this world is not telling you about the alleged slave trade, which was really war, which was really wartime on the original Americans. It was really wartime. It wasn't no slavery time. It was wartime. And those people that lost in the war became prisoners of war. And when a person becomes a prisoner, they automatically become a slave. So they didn't want to tell you the truth. They did all this to take their land and told you come from somewhere else. They spent 200 years trying to erase your identity. And Willie Lynch warned y'all within 200 years, after 200 years, they was going to remember who they are. Look where we at, baby. Look where we at. It's after 200 years. What all my people saying? Hey, I'm the original Indian. My grandma say I got Indian blood. My grandpa say I got Indian blood. Know what I'm saying? My papa say I got more blood. He said we come from the Scots. We come from the Wales. No, they wasn't white people. They were black people from Ireland. They were black people from Scotland. There was black people from France. What did that man say? He said in 200 years they was going to realize who they was. The Willie Lynch letter. He ain't said nothing about no African in that letter. He just said the N-word. And when you find out that the word N-word, if you go real deep in history and find out what that word really mean, it didn't mean African. It didn't mean African. They made it in a modern way to mean African or descendant of Africa or descendant of slave, even though there was more whites as slaves in America than so-called N-words. But they ain't going to tell you that. If I still froze, let me know, y'all, because one person said I froze. Or it might be on your end, because I got straight green. I got a straight green connection over here. But I say again, the Act of 1785, y'all got to learn how to understand this stuff. It says the Act of 1785 legally defines servants as all white persons, not being citizens of any of the Confederate States of America, who shall come into this Commonwealth under, where's the Commonwealth? We're talking about the colonies, under the British colonies, the Britain Crown. The British Crown. That's what we're talking about, the Commonwealth. Under, it says all white persons that's not in the Confederates, they got to be under contract. Since you got to be under contract to serve. All whites that wasn't in the Confederate States, you was slaves. Yes, I'm talking about you. Oh, it was the North versus the South. Yada, yada, yada. The Union. Y'all was slaves. You was fighting for your goddamn freedom. You wasn't fighting for the prisoners of wars, the true Indians. You was trying to liberate yourselves, and that's how you liberate yourselves in 1788. Then we're going to the Proclamation, Emancipation Proclamation. You whites was trying to free yourself from slavery. Because what did the British Crown say? He said, those of y'all that was not in the Confederate States, y'all had to go under contract and serve. I'm going to show y'all the book after I finish this section. Y'all got to learn how to understand this stuff. So what I'm doing is precept upon precept from old studies, and I'm putting it in this at the same time. That's why I'm doing a lot of commentary with this, because a lot of y'all don't know what I'm talking about. If you just read it at face value, you're going to be like, huh? What the heck they talking about? Oh, just white people. You won't even know they talking about them being free. You know what I'm saying? If you want to catch my last live, go to my YouTube, Naturalism of Yahweh. The whole last live that was talking about this live right here, go ahead and watch that joint, because this right here is going to YouTube too. All of my lives go to YouTube, right? I actually forgot to start hitting the screen record, but I like to screen record it. Okay. Start now. I'm going to read it again, because I'm just not starting again. I just hit the screen record button because I forgot to screen record. So I'm going to start it again. It says the Act of 1785. Oh my goodness. Okay. I got to do it again because somebody wanted to start calling me. Say it again. The Act of 1785 legally defines servants as all white persons, not being citizens of the Confederate States of America, who shall come into the Commonwealth. Again, the Commonwealth is the British colonies. It says under contract, all whites that's part of the Confederate, that's not in the Confederates, that's in the Commonwealth and the British colonies, you are servants by contract. I'm repeating again because of my YouTube, because I forgot to hit the record button. But it says to serve another in any trade of occupation. To serve another in any trade of occupation. That means trading for gold. That means agriculture. Any type of trade, you got to be a servant, white man, white woman, before 1788. Come on now. Then they just legally, right here in 1785, they want to say, okay, now only servants mean whites. Because this is the part where they about to do the big flip, where they about to go ahead and change the status and implement statuses into this. This is the part where the elite said, hey, those prisoners of wars are escaping. Those Indians, they taking our land and everything back that we took from them. We need to devise a plan. Okay, let's get these poor whites, these convicts, these criminals. Let's say that they are white, they are pure, they are yada, yada, yada. But us elites, we're going to stay higher than them. Let's just make division. And that's what happened. And the people that authorized that was more black people. It was black people that made that division. Let's make a division between the slaves and the servants. Let's say there's a difference between a slave and a servant now. It became divided in 1785. So what happened before 1785? Everybody was the same. All y'all was getting the same punishment. All y'all was getting their heat. But let's just focus on Africa. Another thing, big thing in this story is they ain't telling you not a lot of Africans came over here. The real numbers logically is under 20,000. Literally, real numbers is under 20,000. Based on documentation, they don't even have documents that amount to 1 million. Did y'all know that? Not even in the British libraries and none of that. They don't have documentations that amounts to 1 million African slaves. We talking less than 20,000 on paper that they can prove on paper. And they wasn't even slaves. They were servants. They got their contracts. They got the shipping laws. And it's under 20,000. But they falsely told you on slavevoyage.com 12 million. 12 million on the dot. Not 12 million in one, not 12 million in two, not 12,600,000 and blah, 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 blah. 12 million on their dot. If that don't scream fallacies, I don't know what to tell you. Right? But it says this definition. Reading comprehension, you got to know. Hirelings, anybody that, so even slaves and hirelings was the same thing. So if you was hired, if you was employed, you was still a slave. So if you're employed today, technically, boom, y'all know who were citizens of any of the Confederate states, but included convicts whose importation was not finally prohibited until 1788. Where was these convicts coming from? It was prohibited. Once they stopped shipping, that's when it ended. That's when the convicts became citizens. And they put status in there. And that's when the so-called whites started feeling like, hey, I'm more superior. The crown gave me another chance. I got a clean slate now. Since all of you people of the whites, since you completed your contract, let's go on ahead and give you the land that we already captured by the prisoners of war. There go your inheritance. What did Kanye West say? Gotcha. I got you. I'm telling you how it happened. But this is a part of American history that they're not going to tell you. And it says apprentices. The apprentices was the master of the contract from abroad. What book is Naturalism of Yahweh reading from? I am reading from all that whole entire paragraph. I am reading from White Servitude in the Colony of Virginia. Again, people, I appreciate the gifts. Please keep sending them in. I told you I'm using this to buy land. I'm trying to get like 10 galaxies. Know what I'm saying? That's my goal, trying to get a galaxy. I'm told you I'm using this to buy land for my own family, my own seed line. I'll tell the truth, I got about $500 from TikTok already as in gifts. And I'm trying to rack up to 10K so I can go buy some land down here where it's still cheap. I'm trying to get it while I still can, but I still got my own funds with that too. But like I said, that's the only reason I'm using that funds, and I'm gonna show y'all the proof that I'm gonna buy the land with those funds. But as I'm also gonna buy the mineral rights to the land, and I'm trying to get the patents to the land too. So I'm telling you, I'm only doing it for my own family for right now. My family, my kids, my wife, my mother, my father, my wife's mother and father, they know who they are. They know their nationality. By our help, we showed our mothers, our fathers, our cousins who they are by record. And we told them our plan. Even our own family members are about to help us with this too. We're going to buy land for our own people. We're doing this. We're going to get the goats. We're going to get the chickens. We're going to get all that. We're going to be building the houses out there. We're doing this right here in the South. I'm saying, if y'all could see me do it, if you see other brothers do it, this could be motivation to you. I'm telling you, this is what we're going to do. And eventually, when I get high enough on YouTube, I'm going to start a Patreon. I'm telling you, we trying to build our nation, but we got to start on an individual level first. A family level first before we even talk about a nation. Because the whole nation got to know who they are individually. Because I might be talking to a whole nother black man that could be, his ancestors could go straight to Ireland. I say, okay, your people's from Ireland. So we need to make a contract with one another. Because I'm Chata Kituwa. And I got ancestors all the way to Wales who are the original Wales of Welsh. So I'm saying, like, we can make a contract with one another. We could trade with one another. But you got to know who you are too, brother, before I can move with you. That's all I'm saying. And that's how we used to move before they classified us all as N-words and said we all came from Africa. I'm telling you how we move, and I'm trying to go back to that ancient way. And I'm going to start with my own family first. We've been talking to our own family. I'm telling you, it's going to pop. So again, I'm telling you, that's what the gifts is for. I have not taken no money out those TikTok gifts. They still stacking up right now. But this is white servitude in the colony of Virginia. Right? That's the book I just got done reading. Now, right here, it's going to tell you. It says, in the policy of the London Company. The London Company. What is the London Company? All right. And it says, towards its colonists, there we go, during the first 12 years, zoom in, during the first 12 years, we've been, well, hold on, it said, during the first 12 years, we have seen the beginning of the gradual development of the ideal of an ideal which adopted and amplified by the later government of the company and the administration of Virginia as a royal colony. We're talking about Britain. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, y'all people. Dang, my bad. I'm telling y'all, these are black people. This is black people. Right? It says royal colony grew into the system here called the indentured servitude. That's what slavery was. So as soon as they started talking about 1619 slave ships, no, sir. London Company, the royal colony, they said indentured servitude. Y'all had contracts, buddy. If Africans came over here, it was on your own free will, buddy. You lying. They did not put you in chains and put those guns that they had to reload and shoot. And even though the accuracy wasn't so good, come on now, them Africans would have whooped their tail if they came over there with them guns, bro. They told them the ideal. They told them the plan. They told them what they was going to get out of it. Boom, indentured servitude right here, London Company. I'm telling you. They lying to you. Get the mindset of roots out of your mind. Roots never happened. The underground, that showed the underground did not happen. All these slave movies that they releasing, Antebellum and all that other mess, did not happen. They keep trying to paint a picture to make it seem like, look, this is what happened to you. And this is how we was. We was royals. We had money. You feared us. But when we go back into those old books, your people said, well, your masters of the London Company said you was undesirable. So we had to send you bye-bye to the dumping ground, America, the place of war that we're fighting right now. We're trying to conquer this land. So it's wartime. I keep telling y'all, it was a 400-year war between the American Indians, the Great American War. Some people say more and more war. That's some people like to call it. Some people call it the Amarucan Moors, the Amarucan versus the Moor. They would just want you to think white people going after black people, and black people just be like, oh, please, no, don't touch me, don't take my kids. They want you to think that wasn't the case. That was not the case. That was never the case. It's like that now. But once that fear of being arrested and being unalive go away, that's when you're going to see the real rise. Because these people cannot do nothing to you unless you let them. Right? So you see it right here. Where I grew into indentured servitude, which throughout the colonial period was widely extended in all of the American colonies and became the important factor of their economic and social development. Gradually, and not always consciously, it was formed into a hard and fixed system. A hard and fixed system. We talking about indentured servitude, not chattel slavery. And it said, in some respects, the analogs, I think they said analogs or something like that, to the later institutions of slavery, from which, however, it was always broadly distinguished between a social custom and law. It said the servitude thus developed was limited and conditional terms and agreements. I just added that word right there. With respect to its origin, it was of two kinds, resting on distinct principles. First, voluntary servitude. Whew, voluntary servitude, people, based on a free contract with the London company or with private persons from definite terms. Definite terms. I mean, yeah, I think I said definite terms of service in consideration of servants, transportation, and maintenance during servitude. Free contract, servants, transportation, maintenance during servitude. Wait a minute, transportation, slave boat. Slave boat. That's what y'all like to holler, slave boat. Voluntary. By the London company. Don't London, ain't their arms is fully open to Africans that want to come there? Y'all see a lot of Africans in London today. Who was the biggest import of voluntary servitude? From the London company. I'll wait. Because I'm here to destroy all y'all lies. I'm here to destroy their supremacy. You have no supremacy, my buddy. You have nothing to be proud of. I'm so sorry, but you have nothing to be proud of. Wait till I tap into the Confederacy. Wait till I tap into what happened during the Confederate War. Right? And you thinking, oh, they was fighting for slavery, blah, blah, blah. Robert E. Lee was a white man. But like, oh, I'm finna destroy your whole belief system. Those of y'all that walk around with the Confederate flag deep in the country. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got the old books. I know what y'all was fighting for. Don't play. And it was a black on black war. It was an Indian war. It was an Indian fighting Moors. Indians fighting Catholics. Having the Catholic belief. Trying to force people into the Catholic religion. I know what a lot of y'all was doing during that Confederate War. I know what y'all was doing. Then we could tap into the Indian training schools, which y'all all having a big old fuss about. We could tap into that. Because all this stuff ties in. All this stuff ties in. And you're going to really feel real defeated once all this stuff be exposed. That you've been lied to. You out here doing fake tears. You out here crying for nothing. Man. And just like to my bro right there, what's his name? The Bully Slayer. When he brought out that baby incubation and the cloning thing that was going on. People just spamming up on the beach with with a suit and briefcase on the beach in the 1920s, looking confused. We talk about cloning. We talk about baby incubation, fake humans. We had all this stuff popping off at the same time, bro. People got real lineages to a clone and don't even know it. It's crazy. But we ain't going to go there. I'm just telling you all this stuff ties in. People not having souls ties in. This hatred ties in. Everything ties in.
And in the 1800s, they had...
you talking way too low.
I'm talking to you.
Oh, you just talking to me? Okay.
And in the 1800s, they had rewritten the Bible over 100 times.
And she said, in the 1800s, they rewritten the Bible more than 800 times. Yeah, Indian training schools. The thing that all the Native Americans are getting very upset what the front page of Google says. But when we dive into those books from the Internet Archives, I'm going to tell you something. Every time I talk to a Native American, they overtalk me, they cuss me out, they keep on yelling, they start speaking Spanish and saying that's their language and stuff. But look, they scared of me talking to them because I like to put them on quiet mode. First thing I asked them, what's your tribe? I'm not telling you my tribe. I'm not telling you my tribe. I know why you want to tell me your tribe, because I'm going to go straight to the Internet Archives. I'm going to research everything about that tribe. You know what I'm going to do. That's why y'all scared to tell me your tribe. The tribe of Apache has been exposed. It wasn't even a real tribe. The tribes of Navajos been exposed. It's not even a real tribe. Cherokee is not a real tribe. There's a governmental fake tribe. The Choctaw, when you say Choctaw, The way how it's spelled today, fake tribe, is really Chata. That's the real one that they don't acknowledge. Kitawa is the real Cherokee. They don't acknowledge it. They ain't gonna tell you this. Those 5 civilized tribes are government made up tribes. I'm telling y'all. Yes, you may be the real Choctaw, but don't call yourself Choctaw. Find the real Choctaw word. Find it. They call themselves Navajo, and the letter V, it's a Latin letter, and the letter J, it's a Latin letter. When you break all that stuff down, what the hell's a Navajo? Fake tribe. And they out here calling it Turtle Island too. That's a Latin word. But you indigenous. You from the... I'm telling you, this stuff go deep and people don't even understand it. When I break it down to them, I'm telling these people scared to talk to me. They just make memes about me. They don't talk to me. Because they know I'm going to tear their belief system all down. And they're going to say, oh, you're doing indigenous erasure. I ain't telling you that you wasn't born in America. That's indigenous erasure. That's that's a native erasure. Me telling you and denying that you are born in America. I know you're born in America. You're a Native American. I'm not taking the name Native American and indigenous from you at all. That's what you are because you're born here. You can have that. You can have that. I know you born here. I'm Native too. I'm indigenous too. I was born here. We all natives and indigenous. So technically, I'm not doing indigenous erasure. I'm not doing Native erasure. Right? Those of y'all don't know what I'm talking about, go look up the true definition in the Black Law Dictionary. In the Black Law Dictionary, go look up the word indigenous and native. It means that you are born in a country. It does not mean you are original to the land. It does not mean you sprouted from the ground organically. It just simply means you are born in a country. That's it. Call yourself black and white. Corporate entities. Okay, second. Now we get into y'all know what the first slavery was, voluntary servitude. We're talking about all the way to 17 what? What we saw on the last page, 17 what? Got to go back. 17. We're talking about 1785. And voluntary servitude was all the way up to 1785. Woo, that's a long time, ain't it? Now we go into second involuntary servitude. It says where legal authority condemned a person to a term of servitude by a judge. Wait a minute. I told you chattel slavery, which means lifetime slave. It happened in court. They did not capture you running in the forest. They did not capture you in the land. They would have to bring you before a judge before making you a lifetime servant. I'm telling you, Roots, I got you. You had to go before a judge before becoming a slave. So just like how we have to go to court today, I'm telling you, it's reflected in our court system today. When you go to court and you're sentenced to prison, you become a servant of the government. You have to go before a judge. Y'all not listening. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, man. Involuntary. That means you're being captured for your criminal activities. Thank you for the gift. I told y'all I appreciate the gifts, y'all. I appreciate the gifts. I'm telling you, if you feel in the live, I don't care if you sending just a gift or just a 1 cent. Anything freaking helps. All this stuff stacks up. All of it stacks up. But it says, like I said, you have to go before a judge. And it says a term of servitude, judge necessary for his reform, or prevention from an idle course of life, criminal activity. I told you you had to have a charge against you for criminal activity to be a servant, to be a slave. What did the Africans do? right? What did the Africans do for them to be in a voluntary servitude? I mean, a involuntary servant, which is chattel slavery. Nothing. They was voluntary because all the roots did not show no African going before the judge. No slave movie did not show no African going before the judge before they become a lifetime slave. I'm telling you. About they judge shit, bro. I'm telling you, they did not want to do nothing and that was out of order. Everything had to be done in decency and order and by law, no matter if you're in another country or not. And in this case, the British Crown, we was following the British Crown laws in the 13 colonies. So therefore, they had to do everything by the British Crown, by the Parliament. So therefore, boom, I told you it's right here. I got you. Go download this book, White Servitude in the Colonies. You could download it from you could download this book from the Internet Archives. Was she an indentured servant? Thank you for the $3, bro. Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, did he send $3? Or that's just his name? No, that's just his name. My bad. But thank you for the gift, though. But it says idle course of life, or as a reprieve from other punishment for misdemeanors already committed. See? Involuntary servitude, criminal activity. I showed y'all. I'm not just talking. It says, though involuntary on the part of the servant, this kind. See if I got that page in here. This kind. Damn, I didn't put it in here. I know this is page 1. Okay, I don't got this because I'm just reading from my debate folder what I had with Port City, where I was gonna finish him off with all this servitude stuff. I told you in my last live, I was gonna destroy him with this because he got the mindset of slaves, Africa. Right? 2 huge statements. You cannot call yourself a slave descent because it was more white slaves. I mean, pale-skinned slaves. So when you say you're a slave descent, what slave are you talking about? Is you talking about the Chino slaves? Is you talking about the undesirable slaves? Or is you talking about the prisoner of war Indian slaves? Or is you talking about the indentured servants that came from Africa? Which one are you talking about? And if you are a indentured servant from Africa, surely you're going to have a document proving you was an indentured servant from Africa that you have ancestors for. You will see it in Ancestry.com. You will have that record. But sadly, none of y'all don't have that record. So none of y'all are not no Africans. You are prisoners of war. You are descendants of America. And if you're not, then most likely you're descended from either Scots, the Scottish, Ireland, Germany, Russia. You are original to those lands. You're not original to America. By the end of the day, you're still melanated, and all those people was melanated. You did not intermingle with white people unless you did that recently. Get what I'm saying? Get what I'm saying? So just don't think black people came from Africa. You could be right now an original Irelander. You could be original Briton right now, thinking you came from Africa. Boats pulled up and pillaged and had war with these people. They did. I'm telling you, go read the book called King Philip and the Indian War. You're going to see what happened. They pulled up and they started fighting. They sent Christopher Colon to scavenge the lands. They sent the conquistadors to scavenge the lands. And they seen how we was. They said, okay, if we come to them on a peaceable mindset and don't capture them or none of that stuff and none of those things, they would do anything we desire. Y'all seen what Christopher Colon said. Go read his original journal. Don't go read that freaking Amazon BS. Go to the Internet Archives and pick up Christopher Colon original journal. The closest to the oldest one, the better. If it's in cursive, bingo, you found the original. Now you just got to learn how to read cursive. And there's a reason in school they don't want you to learn cursive writing anymore. Because if you go back in history, majority of all these memoirs was in type. It wasn't printed like this. It was in cursive. So if you don't know how to read cursive, if you want to know the truth, if you want to know the truth of history, buddy, go to YouTube and learn how to read cursive and write in it. That's the only way. Just be honest. And most of our documents is in cursive. That's why it's hard for y'all to learn who y'all is, because y'all don't know how to read cursive. And if you know how to read cursive, like Myra said, shoot, it's good for her. She will learn who she is, because our ancestors got it in cursive. She can read it. She'll know. But can you? Go to Google. Go to YouTube 101. Grammar 101. Cursive fundamental, intro to cursive writing, whatever. Go read that. Because that's what you're going to have to do to learn who you is. And if your shit is in Spanish, Google Translator. We got it. All right. And it says, I'm going to continue on to page 34 because I don't have page 2 of the last page I just read about the involuntary servitude. Sadly, it's in my phone. I did not put it on my computer. Next time, if I decide to go back over this lesson, I have that up for you. But it says involved in contracts between the authority opposing the sentence and the person the right to service resting upon your slavery was linked to a contract that your ancestors made with the apprentice. Y'all wasn't forced into nothing. And the more you believe into that lie, the weaker you are. The weaker you are mentally. It says this contract made and assigned to him was practically on the same footing as involuntary servitude. The great body of servants was comprised in the former class. They were free persons, largely from England, Wales, Scotland, and Ireland. What did they say? What did they say? What did they say? The servants were what? It says the great body of servants was comprised in the former class. What class? The working class, the servant class. They wasn't in the elites. There you go. You jumping the gun, these truths. You jumping the pearl, you throwing the pearls at them, man. It says they were free persons, largely from England, Wales, Scotland, and Ireland, who wished to go to the colony as settlers to better their condition. What condition? To be free of charge of their criminal activities. But were too poor to bear the charges of their transportation. Wait a minute. You have to pay to be a servant. Wait a minute. So you see what's going on, right, with the London Company. They basically saying, hey, if you want your criminal charges cleared, sign up to be a servant and go to the newfound land. But there is a catch. You got to pay for your transportation. Oh, I don't have no money. I'm too poor. What? There's more. We can increase the amount of years on your contract to pay for your transportation. Therefore, we got a longer sentence of you being servants. That can go all the way to 70 made up concept. Right? What y'all talking about in the comment section while I continue Just got the book. Much gratitude. Appreciate it, brother. Check that joint out and laugh at everybody once you start reading it. As soon as somebody call you a slave from Africa, throw up the book page. What slave? It was the white man. Please find my indentured servitude record to prove my people were slaves. Please find it. If they have it, please present it to please present it to me, because I need that. I need that because I need to find the land. If my ancestor fulfilled their servitude, I need to find that land that we court and get that right now. So if you got my indentured servitude contract that my ancestor have, please run that, because I want to get my land. Please run that. Yeah, go and get this book, because I'm telling you, this is going to open our minds on a lot of stuff. Right? Take a shot before I continue. All right, let's go. They consequently enter into a voluntary, you see, consequent, it's a consequence. Since they were so poor, they was convicts, it was a consequence. They didn't have money for transportation. They said it was a consequence. They enter into a voluntary contract with anyone that would assume these charges and their maintenance for such a term of years as would repay the outlay, placing themselves for this limited time at the disposal of the person for reasonable service. The contract was made in Great Britain. The contract or the agents of colonists, but more frequently with ship masters. Who was the biggest slave owners? Masters, apprentice, ship masters. You want to get on my boat, you got to be my servant. What's up? Do you see what's happening? Like I told you, Roots ain't going to tell you this. American history in freaking grade, the 5th grade all the way to the 12th grade is not going to tell you this. American history in college, no matter if you take 1, 2, or 3, it's not going to tell you this. Because they want to keep pushing that white master BS when that's not even true. Because these people that was owning the ships were black people. We can go into the concept of these people, the complexion of these people. I got the book to tell you what color these people was. I got the book. I am 37 minutes into this live for what I see. All right, that's still good. Again, go follow my YouTube page, Naturalism of Yahweh, to get this content. I screen record my lives because you never know who might be reporting and TikTok might shut it down, yada, yada. At least I got the clip and I can upload it to YouTube. Again, I appreciate the gifts. But let's keep it going. All right. Who traded in Virginia and disposed of the servants? Let me say that again, because I'm messing up. That's the liquor. It said the agreement was by deed indented, which was really indentured, and hence aroused the term indentured service. This class of so-called kids, wait a minute, kids, please tell me I got that page. Please tell me I got the next page. Please tell me I got the next page. Shit. Wait, 34, 35. Yeah, I do. Kids was supplemented by smaller class of persons who went on agreements for fixed wages for a definite time. Definite time. The other large class was supplied chiefly from English, can't say that word, vagrants and desolate persons sent under the arbitrary exercise of ruling prerogative, I'm butchering these words, or by court sentences, and later by the action of English penal statuses. All right. So they just tell you the different classes that's popping off at the same time with us. We got the kids, then we got another class on top of the kids. Everybody is becoming servants. It don't matter who you with. Right? So you see. Now let me see if is the rest of this even very large number of American plantations. Okay, I'm going to jump down to right here. It says, in the early years, it included a large number of poor children from these counties and towns of England who were sent to apprenticeship on easy conditions, right? The penal regulations of the colony up to the year 1642. See, now look, we got it up here. 1642 tended also to recruit this class. A very large number of the convicts sent to the American plantations were political and not social criminals. Right? Of the Scotch prisoners taken at the Battle of Worcester, I think they said Worcester, one of them, 1,610 were sent to Virginia. So they said 1,610 was sent to Virginia. They got a precise number. We don't got 6,000. We actually got a precise number of how many whites was sent to Virginia. How come y'all don't have a precise number when it comes down to black people? Squatter. Synonymous with squatter. Appreciate it. Yes, they were squatters too. Right? 200 years later, the Irish Tories were sent in 1685. A number of the followers of the Monmouth, I think I said it right, that had escaped the cruelties of the Jeffreys. I'm going to have to research that. They just telling you the different type of slaves that came over here. Many of the Scott prisoners of Dunbar and of the rebel of the 1666 were sent to New England. That's the British colonies. And the other plantations. As early as 1611, Governor Dale, anxious to fill out the number of 2,000 men for establishing military posts along the James River, had recommended that all convicts from the common jails to be kept for 3 years. So they even needed military people. So they was sending slaves over to fight for Governor Dale too. You seeing the many reasons why they were sending white slaves. And they had to pay. So we had military people that had indentured servitude contracts. All of it was a game. We got to support y'all. Y'all read. Yep. His story. Look, I'm glad you caught that. His story. The word Tory. I'm just checking out the comments real quick. All right. Now here's this where it's going to get a little bit crazy. This is another thing they called the slaves. Did you know they called the slaves spirits? Y'all finna start a whole trend. The Victorian. y'all finna start a whole trend down there, man. But as I was saying, did y'all know they called slaves spirits? They called slaves spirits. So it says they are not always, he said, the worst kind of men, either for birth, spirit, or body, would be glad to escape a just sentence. Wait, this ain't the page that calls them spirit. I wonder, do I got it? I don't even think I got it. It's in this book though. Matter of fact, Let me see something. My phone hot like a mug. But I'm at 56%. So I'm straight. Let me go to this book. I'm finna go to the Internet Archives, White Servitude in the Colony of Virginia. Whoa. All right. That was from the last live when I was talking about the wild woman, Harry Mary. White indentured servitude in the colonial home. Was it colonial America or was it? It was in Virginia. Harry Mary. Okay, we're gonna go to this book. I think it's in this book. White Servitude right here. This is where I got the book. In case y'all want to download it, you can go to the Internet Archives and you can download the same book I'm reading. And you can see it for yourself. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in the word spirit and see if it's in here. I think it's probably in another book I have. They called the slaves spirits. It's probably high because they probably trying to shut me down. I heard something about that when the spirit confessed the crime. There we go. I think that's it. Even when the spirit. Okay. Let me zoom in. How to X that off. I'm going to slide this over. Okay. So it's going to say spirit where. Okay, we could just go on right here. We're going to start right here at the top. It says the practice first arose in a connection with the West Indies plantations. Barbados and other islands plantations probably received a much greater number than American colonies. We find a case belonging to Virginia as early as 1644. In 1664, the abuse was so bad that the tumults were frequently raised in the streets of London. It was only necessary to point the finger at a woman and call her a common spirit and raise a rout against her. Is that it? And it says the Lord Mayor in this is basically talking about what was popping off in London. They were calling people criminals, and they was trying to convict people so they could have slaves. Literally, this was popping off in London. If y'all don't understand what's going on, I know you ain't gonna understand what's going on because I just popped in this. I actually kind of read almost this whole entire book, but what was popping off in London was, once they sent out all their criminals, they wanted more criminals. So they started accusing people of, things like witchcraft and being of other religions, things like that. So they started calling them spirits. That's why they're talking about the woman right here. She was a common spirit. They needed more slaves. So they had to convict people, accuse people, especially lying, how black people get accused and they go throw to prison even though they ain't did the job, they ain't did the crime, blah, blah, blah. That's what's popping off in London. All for servants. I told you, y'all can read this whole book yourselves. And the king that was doing this was King Charles II. King Charles I right here. And also King Charles II. All this stuff was popping off. So, yeah, they was calling people spirits. It was like in a sense like that. They called up a spirit. There was a criminal. Sent them to prison. All that other stuff. Let's see. Confessed the crime. It was the part where he said he confessed the crime. I think it's down here at the bottom. Is it right here? 5, even when the spirit confessed. All right, there you go. It says it says Middlesex Records. This is the this book is always gonna have its sources at the bottom. It says Middlesex Records, the third, whatever. 38, 94, 200, 245. The offense when discovered, which was probably not true of 1 in 20 cases. See? You see what's going on? Was treated with a remarkable leniency by the courts. Under the civil law, it would have been punished with death. But we meet with petty fines of a few shillings. Even when the spirit, you see, even when the spirit confessed the crime in one case only, I just want to show you that they was calling criminal spirits. That was the whole point of me saying it. To show you I wasn't lying about it. They was calling they people's spirits. Okay, where was I? Now, to show y'all this indentured servitude thing. This is a indentured servitude contract. Do you see how this shit is written in cursive? This is a real one. This is an authentic one. This is the reason you need to learn cursive. And it says, I'm going to read it for you. The indentured witness that James something doth voluntary by himself serving to, there go the apprentice. It looked like 2 people. It looked like 3 people. To serve to the said something of his assigns and during the full space, time, and term of that look like 7. That look like 7 years. The term of 7 years from the first day of the arrival of the ship look like Washington, Virginia, in the United States of North America during the time and the term of the said master, blank, or his assigned shall and will find supply in the said something, whoever that person is, with sufficient meat. They said in return, you ain't gotta have to pay for no meat or nothing. You don't have to pay for no clothing. They said the master is gonna give you meat, drink, apparel, and longing. So you're gonna have a place to look. You're gonna have a place to sleep. You're gonna have your own place. You're gonna have your clothes supplied to you. You're gonna have your own water, drink, whatever you got, and your own meat, food, in return for servitude. You see, this is authentic. So this is authentic. So I'm telling y'all, any of y'all so-called African Americans, those of y'all don't know who you is, do your family tree, see if you can find that indentured servitude thing. Because if you can't find nothing, your people most likely ain't came from no Africa. If you find something, your people most likely ain't came from no Africa. It probably came from the British Isles or something. Yes, most were in the beginning 7 years, but that did increase. These people actually got. If you read that book, you're gonna see how the people got corrupted. They extended it from 7 to 14 years, 14 to 21 years, and so forth, until they reached a lifetime. We had a lot of crookedness going on, and people wasn't. The masters was taking advantage of these people. When they did something bad or something like that, they'd be like, okay, we have to change your contract. So since you did this, since you stole my food, blah, 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 I'm going to give you 1 more year of servitude or a couple of more months of servitude. That's what they did. All right. Besetting such of the servant. And it said, in the end, the expiration, it said a term of, I think, 7 years, they said, blah, 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 to be made free and receive according to the custom of the country. So when he is free, he get to receive something. He get to receive something. Huh?
You want to know how none of that's true, what you just said?
What?
Even on Roots, they was doing it like they will promise, like one of his favorite slaves, they'll promise them, if you do this, I might let you be free. Like I get you free. And then they'll do whatever it is, and when they come to them, they always be like make another stipulation as to why they got to stay on the plantation longer. And then even in that other movie, what they do, they played off, the show I was watching, Bridgerton. And he had fought in the Union War, and then remember he went back to try to, and he had bought his family out. I think 400 years. I think that's what that was. But he bought his family from the slave owner, which was his dad too. He had one guy, his mama, and his other people over there.
Mm-hmm.
You see that movie? Remember that movie?
Nope.
400 years of slavery.
Yeah, I did watch that. Yeah, I did watch that.
What you just said, that's what he did. He was an indentured slave.
So you see, he getting something. This slave, this servant, he's going to receive something of according to the custom of the country. It could be land, it could be anything, it could be gold, it could be silver. It's whatever they agreed upon. In witness whereof of the said parties have hereunto interchangeably put their hands and seal this day of May in the year of our Lord 1784. You see it? There go the blood right there. The blood stains. That's usually how they sign it sometimes. Said, seal, and deliver in the presence of whoever that is. And we got signature at the bottom. I'm telling y'all, slavery isn't what you think it is. I keep telling you over and over and over again. Until y'all get the understanding. I brought this up yesterday. It says the Oxford Dictionary defines as slaves persons who are the legal property of another or others and bound to absolute obedience. And it says, in short, human chattels. That's lifetime slave. By this definition, white servants were the first slaves in America, and it is upon their labor and later that of African Americans dodged the hijack. These are prisoner of wars. These are American Indian slaves that the nations was initially built. Today, tens of millions. You hear that? I said this yesterday. Tens of millions of white Americans. If they said tens of millions, that's more than 12 million. So they saying literally millions of white Americans were our descendants of such chattels. All of you technically is. So what the freak is the supremacy all about? There's absolutely no reason for you to feel superior to no one. Really none. I swear, after learning real history, there's no reason. Should feel ashamed of yourselves, to be real. At least we was fighting. Y'all just said, okay, we need some money, we need some help, so I'm poor, I don't have money, so yeah, run that, I'll be a servant. You just willy-nilly went on to being a servant and got manipulated. But we was fighting. We are built different. You set yourself up. You set yourself up. 1 second, y'all. Come on. Get up. Come on. All right. Bye-bye. Love you. All right. My sons came over here in my study, so I have to let them come out of here. So this book right here, The Significance and Origins of the Colonial Indentured Servitude. Do I have to read any of this? Is there anything? Because I don't want to repeat myself on the same stuff. Yeah. British were plenty of war. Okay, we could leave this white servitude stuff alone. We could leave the white servitude stuff alone. We do y'all get the understanding about the before I move on? Do y'all get the understanding about white servitude, that they was the biggest slaves and all this other stuff, that they was criminals? There was nothing to. There is absolutely nothing for them to be proud of whatsoever. Do y'all get the understanding of that? Yep. Slavery has always been servitude. Yep. So do y'all understand that servitude, indentured servitude, was going on for a extremely long time before chattel slavery? So all this root stuff, all that other stuff should be out of your head now. Y'all should know that slavery was a lie. They gave you their story, but they don't want to tell you your story. If you want to know your story, if you want to know your story, what your ancestors really did, for those of y'all that's claiming to be original Indians, King Philip, Indian War. King Philip, Indian Wars. King Philip, Indian Wars. If you want to know, what happened, the history of the Indian Wars in New England, from the first settlement to the termination of the war with King Philip in 1677, from the original work by the Reverend William Hubbard. All right, if you want to know what your ancestors have done, read this book. They told you you gave up freely. You're going to learn how you kick their tails. You're going to learn how these people were scared of you. You're going to learn why the certain government agencies want to stop black people from coming together, because they fear what happened in the past of King Philip's Indian War. The Indian Wars. They fear what had happened. And no, Native American, indigenous, this is not you. This is not you. This is not you. Just being honest with you, this is not you. If anything, you helped them because you was obedient. You were servants. You helped these people. All right? Service that information about say the copy. Let's see. This guy just talking about himself. Where's the introduction? Life of the author. I don't care about the author. This book is old. I don't even think it has an index. Yeah, this book don't even have an index. But if you want to learn, go download this book. You want to see what happened? Maybe you can make your own content off of it. But this is volume 3. I recommend finding the first volume. I think this is the first volume right here. See how old it is? Look. See this? See how old this shit is? 16. Yep, this is the original one. This is the original 1677. We found the original one. All right? So no influences. Get the screenshot. If y'all can, please get the screenshot. I'm screenshotting this myself. Get the screenshot. If you want to learn what your ancestors have done, how these people, what we did to these people, what these people done to us, the tactics and everything, this is the original publication date 1677. I typed in King Philip and the Indian Wars. And I went to the first, I tried to look for the first volume. This is the first volume. It's better to just get this screenshot. Then you could type it in on internetarchives.com. And you can pull up this book. So I'm going to flip in. It's 256 pages. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's the original. It's the original. So no, this is not revised. This is not edited. This is the original. So this is technically a memoir. It's a memoir. Yeah, let me download. Let me go ahead and hit the download. Download PDF. Shit, what y'all doing? Okay, we got the download. Download to my desktop. Okay, we got it. So when my next lesson, I might crack this open. I might crack this open for y'all and show y'all a couple of things that's in this book. Hey, my boy over there going crazy, ain't he? How to zoom out? Gotta zoom out. Yeah. Grabbing my laptop to download now. Facts, bro. Facts. Yeah, I was actually gonna start on this video. This is Kimaru. I probably said his name wrong, but he's gonna tell you the Tupac's genealogical stories. They're gonna tell you why his mother named him Tupac Shakur. That's actually based off American king during colonial times. They're gonna tell you why they named him Tupac. His real family. He actually go back to these ancient American Indians. They're gonna tell you all about it. So he actually showing you proof. He doing stuff nobody have not done. Tupac's ancestor. I'm telling you, we Indians, man. We Indians for real. Got the coast of orange popping off. And he linked to the Sephardic Jews too. Facts. You probably already watched it before me. But this is one of the people I learned from. Yes, I learned. I also learned from 432 Drop. I might as well give y'all some of the sauce. 432 Drop. Because nothing ain't secret. Nothing is not secret out here. 432 Drop. I get my information from him as well. Some stuff. Oh, no. Not Con Drop. Go back to 432. 432. He read nothing but books. He proved the old world. He do all of that. He got hella sources. And he got a library with nothing but old books. And if you get to that website, the password is 1234. But yeah, I chop it up with this man. He actually building him a community, the same community I said I wanted to build. He got him some land. He actually real life out here doing it.
Con's already popping off. Drop is popping off. It's all happening, man. Con up, hey, out to the tribe.
Hey, out to the tribe.
Yeah, we do. My niggas popping off in real time, man.
Micronation. Facts.
All right, my niggas, so you next. You up next.
He said you up next.
You know my niggas got hands. Y'all been hitting knocking like.
This Arizona.
I got hands.
I think it's Arizona.
I rock with this. I rock with that. You know, I do electric work. I do solar panels. I do, contracting. All that. So please continue to hit us up. Music at 432thedrop.com. Music at 432. Gotta pop off.
So yeah, he actually out here really doing it. All the information he do, he teach you about Prester John. He teach you about Noble Jew Ali and the Moors. He teach you about all that. Slave laws in Virginia.
The Prester.
He teach you about this. Look at that. Moricon.
Prester John 86. Lego.
Catholics. I told you about the Catholics. The Moors, you escaping persecution. I told you about that. He got all the drop on this. If anybody's more intellectual,
laws in Virginia.
If anybody I met that's more intellectual, they're so intellectual, it is this man. He got all that. He was one of the first people that brought this out on TikTok. On YouTube too, about the outside the earth pools. You know what I'm saying? There's many different earth pools. We just in one district. But there's many earth pools outside of our earth pool. He got all that. He got all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? He teach you all this. He teach you Aboriginal stuff all around the world, not just America. And another guy I just want to show y'all before I continue is UBTV. UBTV. That's who I learned about the Black Boule. He teach you everything about the secret society, black secret societies. They're gonna know about Jew Ali again. He teach you all this stuff. Look, the Boule. He teach you about the beast of the field, where the white people come from. Jay-Z being spotted in the Boule. He got all this stuff. He teach you about America is Egypt. He teach you that Israel is in America. He got real sources from books, old books, and all that. He tell you all this stuff. And he is an American Indian too. That's what he say. And my favorite series he do is The Beast of the Field. The Beast of the Field, man. And another one he do is called Timeline, showing you that our complete timeline is nothing but fallacy. If you follow the Gregorian calendar, that's complete fallacies. It's not 2023. They added 1,000 years and all that other stuff. He teach you everything about that. The things we keep saying, what if, he got the drop. He got it for real. His name is UBTV. UBTV. Right? His name is UBTV. So I told you, Kima Maru, that's his name right there. Kima Maru, 432 drop, and UBTV. This is who if I want to research something, of course I'm going to go to YouTube to see what they talking about. If they drop a book, I'm going to read the book, but I'm going to read a little bit more of what they showed in the video. Then I'm going to come present it. So I'm giving y'all the sauce. There's a lot more people, but I'm giving you, this is one of my big threes, my top threes. You know what I'm saying? That y'all can check out. Support them. They not on TikTok, they only on YouTube. I sometimes look at Dane Calloway, but to me, Dane Calloway is like for rookies. You know what I'm saying? He give you rookie knowledge. But these guys, yeah, they give you the real sauce, for real. Alright. So where's my folder? Okay, I'ma leave this. We done with white slaves. We done with the white slaves. Proof the American Indians is black. Do I really gotta dive into it? Buddha? Mama Buddha, do I really gotta dive into it? Buddha popping off in Yucatan. Right? Or should I clown the people that say they're Aztecs when we know the Aztecs is copper color? There's so many things I could do right now with a battery of 35%. It says the Aztecs were distinguished for their fine physical development. They were uncommonly well formed, and some of their women are reported to have been beautiful. They were rather chunky, and their stature hardly ever exceeded the medium height. So they basically saying they are short. And then y'all people, those tall Mexicans and all them talk about you Aztecs, you're a freaking lie because you don't even match the phenotype. They're short people, medium height. We talking 5 foot all the way to probably to 5'9" or something. It's like that. 6 foot, you out of there. You ain't no goddamn Aztec. Majority of the American tribes are short people, to be real, or average height people instead of being very tall people. Some tribes are very tall, but majority of the tribes are actually just average height and short. That's why you see a lot of our women very short, for real. I'm dead serious. A lot of tall people really come from out of the United States, such as the Moors and different melanated people. But majority of American tribes is I ain't trying to talk down on people's height, but I'm so serious. Majority of Indian tribes are average height and short. I mean, I'm not ruling out if you 6 foot, You could have the Indian tribe. I mean, you could have Indian background. There is Indian tribes that are tall, but people like Choctaws and all them people, they're short with flat heads, bro. I'm just being real. I'm just being real. I read the phenotype, and I'm down with that phenotype. Oh, here they go. They finna start shaming. Don't feel ashamed. I just told you there are some tribes that is 6 foot. I said, but I'm saying the majority of tribes are literally average height and short. That's why a lot of black men in America, they really is average height and short. You don't catch a lot of black men that's 6 feet tall, especially in the South. I'm just being real with y'all. So I mean, your height is a coming factor in who you is. Just being real. Just being real, man. Don't get mad. Don't get upset. You might still be one. But if you not, shoot, shout out my Moors. Shout out my Moors, because I still got the Moor background too. But I'm saying if you African and you got a beard, you ain't, most likely you're not African, because most African tribes can't grow beards. So you need to be really questioning where you come from. Either you came from the British Isles and all those other more countries, or you came from Americas. Because the Indians did grow beards, they just plucked them out. I got books to show proof that the Indians shaved their beards. They was clean shaven. Why you think a lot of us black people, especially young ones, they always want to clean, call themselves pretty and stuff. I'm against that, but they call themselves pretty and stuff. That's a real thing. We still carry that culture today. A lot of men like to be clean faced, clean shaven. But me, I like my beard, so shit. You know what I'm saying? Yep, it's in the DNA, it's in the culture. But here we go. It says they are rather. It says no, I was at a medium height. They had prominent cheekbones. Prominent cheekbones. A lot of us in America, we have prominent cheekbones. We got wide cheekbones. If your jaw is big as hell, or you can see your cheekbones, most likely you are from this land. Most likely. You got them damn wide cheekbones. But we talking about the Aztecs right now. But it says also the low foreheads. When y'all say, oh, you got a small ass forehead, or them rectangle foreheads, that's another phenotype of American Indian, with the high cheekbones or the prominent cheekbones, and you being short. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. But it says cheekbones in their mouth, expressive in gentleness, contrast with their sombre or whatever, and severe look. They look like mean people. Their forehead was low. That's why I said them rectangular foreheads, them short foreheads, and retreating. Their head retreated too. And their eyes were black and elongated, with the angle inclined upwards. And it says towards the temples. Their teeth were regular and their lips thick. So Mexicans cannot be you because y'all don't have thick lips. Y'all really don't. Y'all don't know if if you think your lips is thick, it might be thick to you, but when compared to us, that's what they talk about thick. We talking about thick, bro. And that's not thick. But it says their complexion was a dark olive. What olive was we talking about? If the conquistadors invaded Mexico and called it New Spain, surely they wasn't talking about the olives in Mexico. They got to be talking about the Spanish olives. This is how you really research. The Spanish olives. When you ask them, oh, I'm olive colored. Okay, the olives that the Spanish was talking about, it ain't this, because this is dipped in vinegar. That's how the coloration happened. And those are green. You're not green. Spanish olives. Damn, where was it? It was, shit, where was it? It's not these black ass olives. Where was it? I forgot the name of them. Let me find it. They're indigenous olives. I've seen them before. I've seen it in the book before. That was like red and brown at the same time. Spanish indigenous olives. Where they at? There they go. Here they go. Right here. There they go. That's it. Now the ones they put in a jar, that's the one they put in a jar. They put it in vinegar and it loses coloration. When they talk about olives, we talk about the olives that's on the trees, not something that you go in Walmart and find on a freaking olive section and that it lost its coloration. We're talking about the Spanish olive. He is red like an olive. He is brown like an olive. Y'all don't match that. Seriously, you don't match that. Now this is olives that was inside of vinegar. You see how it lost its coloration? Now I'm going to show you it's the same olives that was on the tree, right? Look at this. You see how it lost its coloration once you put it in vinegar? It was green. It's green it's green. Nobody's not that complexion. Green olives. If you put it in vinegar, but there go the red olive. Who is this color? All right, y'all understand? So when they said, "Oh, olive, I'm olive color. I'm an olive color." Okay, maybe if I throw some vinegar at you, you'll probably be olive color. It says a dark olive. The top of it says a dark olive. So that's even darker than the one I just showed you. So it might have been the black olives or a light coffee color. A light coffee color. What's a light coffee color? Light coffee. We talking about Spaniard time. So what was they light coffee color? What was a light coffee color? We talk about a light coffee color. Is that the light coffee color they talking about? Light coffee. Talking about Spain. Is that what they talking about? Because they just said dark color. So when you type in Spain with coffee, a light coffee, if we talk about light coffee, we wasn't talking about the coffee liquid. We're talking about the coffee bean. We talk about light coffee. Dark coffee, light coffee. Right? So is you that color? Is that you? Let's look at the different coffees. There go you. There go you, Mexican man. But this is the different shades of brown. So which light coffee are we talking about? Because we got to talk about the coffee bean. And these are Spanish coffee beans. I typed it in. Light coffee, Spain. We got another section that excluded that lighter coffee. That one that almost looked like yellow. And now we got light coffee. So which one are we talking about? So the only one we can know if it's the only one the only way we can prove it, we gotta do this. We gotta go find the Aztec man and see which coffee bean is they talking about. You see how I just did it? So which one of these coffee shades matches him? That's an Aztec from the Chichen Itza. He said they was coffee color, a light coffee color. He also said a dark olive. So which one of these coffee beans do this Aztec match? Exactly. We all those shades. It's crazy, ain't it? They want to be the Aztec so bad, yet they can't even get past the description. They can't even get past the description of what the colonizers left. Right? I told you this live was going to be good. I'm showing you how to get there. I'm showing you how to get there, man, because, dude, I'm telling you, they hate me. They real life hate me. They hate me with a passion. And they would never debate me. The only thing they do is just have little mean videos. Make little mean videos about me. But you see it. The complexion. Y'all seen it compared with the coffee. The coffee. Light coffee color, dark olive. Look, naturalist, he said light coffee. So therefore, it got to be us. We got to pull up them coffee beans and put up an image of a Aztec, the way how they depicted themselves, and compare them coffee beans. You yellow, my friend. You are yellow. You are not brown. I don't know how. How did you get yellow and brown mixed together? It's beyond me. How you get black and brown mixed together is beyond me. But it says their black hair was thick. First of all, the people that live in Mexico, your hair is not thick. If you look up the American combs, the American artifact combs, right? Uh-oh, my Discord popping off. My Discord popping off. I'm going to make a Discord for y'all, too, if y'all ever want to join my Discord. American comb artifacts. American comb artifacts. Now look, I want y'all to check this out. They said their hair was thick, right? Tell me what the hell that is. Black people, please, for the love of God, tell me what the hell is this? We could go straight downtown to Mr. Young Yeah's beauty store, and we could go literally down the aisle and buy this. These are American artifacts. These are the combs. Pre-Columbian carved comb. Peru. And they also call them ancient Egyptian combs. This is not Egyptian. Here's another one. Come on now. Now, watch this. Watch this. Watch this. He said the Aztecs had thick hair. Let me find them. Okay, I guess I can use them. These people, right? These are the indigenous Mexicans. Now, if we go look at those combs, dude, these combs are too long for your hair. The combs are too long for your hair. You would need a short comb. Look at this other pic. Look at these other pics. You would need a short comb like that. You feel me? You would need a short comb like that for your hair. But these artifacts, you can't deny that. This ain't you. You would need short combs like this. This is a Viking. This is a Viking comb. This not Mexico. You need a comb like this. A short teeth comb. Right? But this right here, this is for thick hair. We use picks for thick hair. So, I mean, just based off artifacts that's found in America, I mean, so you're disqualified. You're disqualified. Because you keep calling your hair thick. That is not thick hair. I could easily put my fingers through those hairs. Now, Afro. I could put my fingers through her hair, and I bet you my fingers are going to get caught up in her hair and her coils. If I curve my fingers in her hair, my fingers is automatically going to get tangled up in her hair. That's called thick hair. That's thick hair. Thick hair. Thick hair. Right? That hair is not thick. I could put my finger in there and I can get my fingers out of it. Y'all need to know the difference. Thick hair is something it's kind of hard for you to, know what I'm saying, get your fingers out of. I ain't talking about just poke it. Curve your fingers in there. Some of y'all got afros. Do it. Now this I'm telling you, there's absolutely no reason for y'all to have long picks or long teeth combs in ancient times if you had thin hair. It logically don't make sense. Look at that. They got a puma up there. It logically don't make sense. So just putting it out there. Oh, you discriminating against my hair now? Now you saying I can't use a pick? Okay, go buy a pick. Those y'all got straight hair, go buy a pick. See what it does to you. Use it on the top of your head. If you stab the mess out your head, that's not my fault. I'm just being honest with you. Y'all use short teeth picks. That's not discriminatory. It's common sense. You know what I'm saying? You know yourself. Don't be egotistic. But the Aztecs had black hair, thick hair. You know what I'm saying? And their hair was glossy. Our hair do be glossy. Especially when we have waves, that is glossy. The way our hair shines and shit, that is glossy. Now, yes, you people with straight hair, yes, y'all hair be glossy too. I'm not gonna lie. Yes, y'all be having some glossy ass hair. I mean, y'all be having some shiny ass hair, but we do too. You can't count us out. I'm just being honest. And the ends it all, it said they got scanty beards. They got beards too. Okay, we all got beards. But I'm telling you, the Africans, when you look at the majority of Africans, not that guy. When you look at the majority of Africans, a lot of them, majority of them, do not have beards. Some of them do. He's actually from our land. Why he claiming he's from Africa? He's literally from our land. When I say literally from our land, what I mean by that, some of our people was sent to West Africa during colonial times. Our bloodline is over there in West Africa too. Look at them. Look at them. You see what they try to get me. They were finna get me, wasn't they? But like I said, smooth face. Majority of them cannot grow beards. I need all races to understand this. The majority of Africans cannot grow beards. But it is true. Our bloodline is in West Africa because of the Indian slave trade. The Indian slave trade. And I'm going to present that probably in another live. Probably in my next live, I'll present that. I do got that book page on it about Indians, American Indians being sent to West Africa during colonial times. I got that. And they were sending them over there by the thousands. But they wasn't POWs. They went over there on their own free will. Some of our people really did do that. Know what I'm saying? What else? Let's see, do I want to bring this out? What do I want to bring out? The Peruvians are not tall. I told you, Americans, I keep telling y'all, we short people of stature, but are tolerably well proportionate. They have the nose aquiline, the forehead narrow. They sound like Tia. Y'all know my homegirl Tia Jeffries on here? Tia Jeffries. That sounds like her phenotype. The head well furnished with black hair, corally hair, and fleet. The complexion between red and olive. The iris of the eye is black, and the white somewhat dusky. So they basically saying their eyes is kind of brown. They tint of their eyes is kind of brown. But these people is like between a red and olive color. What do that mean? If we know the Spanish olive is like a red brown, and then we got red, so that means they are brown. They are brown people, a red brown people, a ruddy people. Know what I'm saying? We talk about the Peruvians, right? Let's see. We know the N word. The dark-skinned person of any region. You see that? The N word, right there. It can be applied to a dark-skinned person of any region. So everybody around the world, they don't even have ties to Africa, is being called the N-word. But somehow y'all think the N-word means you're African. It does not. And it says in early U.S., usually with reference to American Indians, usually offensive. Early, we talk about 1619. The history where I just got done reading about the white slaves. We talking about then, right? So y'all see, we was being called. Well, it's crazy. We was being called all types of things, derogatory terms, and it says from this book right here, The American Nations. The American Nations, 1836. 1836. It says, there were formerly in America as of now, tribes of all complexions as elsewhere. Yellowish. Who is the yellowish people? I circled that for a reason. Because these yellowish people like to call themselves copper. These yellowish people like to call themselves brown. Why did they say yellowish? Who is the yellow people? Who is the yellow tribes? Nope, it ain't Tunny. Tunny, I can show you Tunny means like the leather, like brown leather, like a tan leather. So I told you. Tunny means brown. It doesn't mean yellow. So we say yellowish. And then when you think about the Chino slaves that was brought to New Spain, that's where you got the yellow tribes. The yellow tribes, but they're not American Indians. It says olive. I just went over olive color. It's a red brown. Coppery. There's different complexions of brown. Tawny. Another complexion of brown. Red and brown. Red, brown. Incarnate. That's black. White. Albino. And even blackened or N-word. They say even America, there's people that look like N-words in this complexion. They talk about African like. I already know they talk about African like in this paragraph. And it says, here we go. Tall and dwarfish men from 8 to 4 feet in size called giants. You know, we had giants and we had pygmies people. I keep telling you people, America has short people and giants. You know, they found giant bones in America. Men with various frames, skulls, and features of all sorts found in the Eastern Hemisphere. Okay, y'all see it? Now look, I'm going to show you what America had. We talk about during the time of slavery. We talk about before the world trade, the fair trade, wherever how y'all call it. It says the Americans had long before Columbus large cities built of stones, bricks, or wood with walls, ditches, temples, palaces. All this stuff we had here, but we had temples and palaces and walls. Imagine what North America looked like. Imagine what North America looked like during the 1600s, during the 1700s. And they destroyed it all. Then we had the mud flood. Tartaria being destroyed during the same time. Man, I'm telling y'all, man, there's a lot about history y'all don't know. And y'all got to go into these books. Y'all got to go through so many different books to get the whole picture of what really happened. But I'm just letting you know on a simple level, like, hey, what do these people look like? What really happened? That's what I'm doing. Right? Let's see. I'm on 14%. I'm gonna show y'all this book. Then I'm gonna let this be the last thing I'm gonna show. And then I'm gonna chop it up with y'all. Read the comments for a second. And then I'm gonna end it because I'm on 14%. And my wife over there singing in the hallway. This book right here, Verrazano's Voyage Along the Atlantic Coast of North America, 1524. And this book was published in 1916. But this is a straight up account from his book, 1524. What do Verrazano say? What did he say about the first Americans he's seen? Okay, this is Verrazano's account on. He's like one of the first expeditioners that came to North America. One of the first. We ain't talking about the British islands. I mean, we ain't talking about the Caribbeans, my bad. We ain't talking about the Caribbeans. We talking about Carolina. Right? So it says, zoom in, scroll up. And I don't know why Pan-Africans want the Native Americans to be the Indians so bad. But when we use these old books, a lot of y'all just going to say pseudo, 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 pseudo. What makes it pseudo? Tell me, what makes it pseudo? They didn't tell us this in school, so it's pseudo. So they didn't tell you in school, so that's what makes it pseudo? Tell me really why is it pseudo? Be real, bro. Because I don't believe it. That's why it's pseudo. I'm ignorant of this, so it's pseudo to me. They told me the Indians look like this, so this is what they look like. I don't have no mind to think. I don't want to challenge myself. That's what makes it pseudo to me. Okay, tell me what else what makes it pseudo. The guy, he's racist. He's racist. He's racist. That's the reason it's pseudo, because he's racist. Okay. The guy who made the out of Africa theory and you believe everybody came out of Africa, he's racist. The guy that called you black, he's racist. The people that named you African American, they was racist. The guy that created those Pan-African books, they was racist. The people that made those Egyptian books, they was racist. The guy that printed the Bible, he was racist. Everything that you read, every theory that you believe in comes from racists. Outer space theory came from a racist. The theory of gravity came from a racist. The guy who made the evolutionary theory is racist. I mean, I can go on and on and on. So we're gonna have to rule out, because a person is racist, that we got to rule that out. We can't say something is pseudo because a person is racist, because everything you believe in, everything you use, was published by a racist person. So, what other thing you have to prove that the books I'm reading is racist? I mean, not racist, pseudo. Look, brother, you're a wabo. That's what they gonna do. You're a wabo. The last tactic is calling me a name, saying something derogatory. That's the last thing they could do. Yeah, you racist. You're. They're going to say, oh, you're misogynistic. I didn't even say nothing about a woman. The last thing to do is label you and go make a freaking video, cut some of my words to paint a picture. That's a tactic. Since I made them look dumb. Since I made them look like a fool. I challenged their mind. I made them think for the first time in a couple of years. Know what I'm saying? That's what they do. Soon as I read this book, this sounds like indigenous erasure. What's erasure? What am I erasing? You erasing the fact that I was here. Was you born here? Yes. I didn't say you wasn't born here. What are you talking about? I like to play with people's intelligence. That's it. Then I do it so much that they call me names. That's how I get my power. I get my power from that. You know what I'm saying? But let's go ahead and read what Giovanni Di Verrazzano said about his first account on meeting the Indians in North Carolina. He said right here, he says, some wear certain garlands of feathers of birds, right? They are of a dark color. He said these Indians, they're a dark color, not much unlike the Ethiopians. Wait a minute. He said they're dark, but they also look like the Ethiopians. Their hair black and thick. There go that word again, thick. It didn't say their hair was thin. It said their hair was thick. He said, okay, now we got three accounts. They look like the Ethiopians. Their hair is black and it's thick. So we're talking about afros and not very long. Now they got short hair. Wait a minute. Do he talk about how tall they are? He said also wish they tied together back on their head. Do we not make those ponytails, people? We do it with our braids. We do it with our locks. We be making ponytails and stuff. Other nations do too. We ain't gonna rule it out. In the shape of a little tail, though. How many of y'all discriminated against a woman because her hair was short? And y'all laughed at her in school because her ponytail was little. How many times y'all did that? That was a sign of that little girl being an Indian. Y'all made fun of women because they hair short. Women, take pride in that. Please take pride in that, because that proves that you are an Indian to America. Don't be ashamed of your short hair if you got it. Because that's part of your culture. That's who you are. And they want to make fun of that. But guess what? Giovanni Di Verrazano said y'all got short hair. Now what? Now what? All y'all Indians out here talking about y'all got long hair. We got long hair. Blah, 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 blah. Giovanni says otherwise. Yeah, the ponytail. You know what I'm saying? We was little. We all used to do the little crazy little things when we was young. But we older and wiser now. We learned to love it. And it says, as for the symmetry, like I say, I'll be butchering words. I don't know if I'm saying the word right tonight, but I don't care. It says, of the man, they are well proportioned, of medium stature. Men, you are not tall. Men, original people of North Carolina, you are not tall. You're medium. You're average height. You're not 6 feet. You're not 6 feet. You 5'9", you 5'11", you 5'10", you 5'6". If you 5'2", oh shit, I don't know what to tell you. You probably might be a pygmy or something. One of them pygmies, what they was talking about, them leprechauns. But we in general are short people, and they try to make us make fun of each other for being short. In reality, that's a sign of being an original Indian. I'm telling y'all, the things they discriminate against, take pride in that, because that is the description of an original Indian. I'm saying majority of Indians in that. Now, I'm not saying all Indians are short. I said the majority. But most Indians are medium stature. That's why I keep seeing the majority of all these books and the expeditioner books. I really believe the Moors are real tall people, or kind of tall or whatever, preceding 6 feet based off the information of phenotype. You know what I'm saying? But again, I could be wrong. But do not rule out you being that's you 6 foot or 6'5" or 6'7", 8 feet, man. If you 8 feet, you a Nephilim. I'm just gonna say you a Nephilim straight up. You LeBron James height, bro. You a Nephilim. You got Nephilim blood. I'm just gonna end it like that. You a giant. Real talk. You got somebody else blood, my boy, because you are way too tall. Way too tall. You something else. Just being real. But like I said, just because you might be 6 foot or something. Again, you might came from somewhere else. You might have that Moor blood. You might be an Islander. You might be Britain from the British Islands. You know what I'm saying? You might have roots there. Or like somebody said, the Sudanese people are real tall. The Kenyans are real tall. And what they said, the Egyptians, which was really Libyans in that land, because they really not the real Egyptians, they're real tall. And generally, Indians are short. We short people. We short in medium stature. So I can understand that. And our women is shorter than us. Some of our women is taller than us, but the majority of our women is shorter than us. All right. So just putting it out there. Phenotype is very important. And it says in the breast, they are broad. So they say our women got big titties. Our women got big titties. And it says their arms are well built. Well, I think that's talking about man. Well, we got broad chest. And it says the legs and other parts of the body are well put together. It sounds like this man is fantasizing. They fantasizing about how we look. And then look, here's the part of the part. They said we are the greatest runners. The greatest runners. The greatest runners. I tell you, we be beating those Africans in the Olympics every time. We are the greatest runners. I'm telling you, it's not y'all. Siberians, it's not you. It's not you. I tell you, these are about the Carolinas. If y'all want to know this book is called Verazone's Voyage Along the Atlantic Coast of North America. Hold on one second. All right, y'all. So basically, turn this around. I'm going to end that right there. But because I'm at 4%, I'm going to tell y'all again, please follow my... I'm trying to put up the screenshot. Follow my my YouTube. Because I'm really trying to change my traffic from TikTok to YouTube. There we go. Naturalism of Yahweh. You see how many followers I got now? I got 1,200. Approximately 1,200. I'm sorry, I can't bring nobody up right now because I'm at 4%. I know it's going to shut right off. On my next live, I'll let the panel come open. But I'm going to have to teach the lesson first before I let the panel come open. But, like I said, y'all, follow my page. Please follow my YouTube. I'm trying to let it grow. I'm really trying to graduate from TikTok. That's what I'm really trying to do. And on top of that, based off your subscriptions on there, I can start getting paid on there compared to TikTok. YouTube is so diverse. The content I put up, it doesn't get taken down. Even if you report it, it can't get taken down because other people saying the N-word, saying white, and all types of crazy stuff in their videos and not get taken down. So they are very, very friendly. They just, you know what I'm saying? They don't want you to have no copyright strikes. So I'm telling y'all, please go follow my YouTube because that's where I post most of my sensitive my sensitive content. All right. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in to this live. This was just part 2 of the one from yesterday. The next live I do is just going to be a continuation. I'm talking about the description of the Indians. You already know that who was the biggest slaves here. Then after I get done with the description of the Indians, I'm going to get into the Indian slave trade. The Indian slave trade. All right. So thank y'all for the gifts. I appreciate the gifts. I tell you what that money is going for my land. But I'm going to go ahead and end this live. I'm at 1%. Love y'all. Take care.